My family and I live next to some woods in North Carolina. It's a quiet area. Nothing ever happens. Until it did. We heard children calling for help from the trees. Little voices, begging us to come into the forest. My cousin and I ran outside. We called back. No answer. Just the same voices, repeating the same words, like a recording, like something mimicking humans. No missing kids were ever reported. Then came the screaming. My mother heard it first, an inhuman screech coming from the woodline. My grandmother had heard the exact same sound a week earlier. Neither had told the other. And then I saw it, standing outside my window, a pale grayish-white thing, crawling on all fours with its legs bent inward like a dog, head smooth, no face, no eyes, just a pale shape watching my house. A neighbor saw the same thing, same time period, same screams, same creature. 2 households, 2 sightings, no explanation. It started with the voices. My cousin and I were on the back porch one night, just talking. That's when we heard it. Children, in the woods, calling for help, saying our names, maybe, saying something. Just repeating the same phrases over and over. Help us. Come here. Please come inside. It sounded wrong. Not like real kids, like something trying to sound like kids. The words weren't quite right. The rhythm was off. It sounded mimicked. I called back. I asked who was there. No answer. Just the same voices, over and over, inviting me into the forest. My cousin and I looked at each other. We both felt it. Whatever was out there, it wasn't lost kids. It wanted us to come into the woods. And not for a good reason. We went inside, locked the door, called the cops. They searched. No footprints, no signs of anyone, nothing. No missing children were ever reported in our area during that time. It happened again a few weeks later. My mother was on the back porch, smoking a cigarette before bed. It was late, dark, quiet. She came back inside, pale as a ghost. She said she heard something in the woods. Not voices this time. A scream, a screech, something inhuman, something she'd never heard before. We looked up what animals could make that sound. Coyotes? Maybe. Owls? Possibly. But my mother grew up in the country. She knows what coyotes sound like. This wasn't a coyote. A week later, my grandmother was taking her dog out around midnight. The dog froze, stared at the woods. Then my grandmother heard it. The same screech, same inhuman sound. She didn't say anything. Neither did my mother. They didn't compare notes until I asked them about it. 2 people. Same sound. Same location. Different nights. Neither knew the other had heard it. Neither had any explanation. The 3rd incident happened about a month after the screams. I was getting ready for bed, around 11 p.m. I went to close the blinds. That's when I saw it. At the edge of the backyard, right where the grass meets the trees. Something moved. I stared. I couldn't look away. It was pale, grayish-white, like something that had never seen the sun. It was crawling on all fours, but not like an animal. Its legs were bent inward, like a dog's back legs, but on all 4 limbs. The movement was wrong, unnatural. It didn't seem to have a face. The head was smooth, pale, no eyes, no nose, just a blank, featureless shape. The creature moved behind a tree. I waited for it to come out the other side. It didn't. It just disappeared. I stood there for a long time, staring, waiting. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. I didn't know what I saw. I couldn't explain it, but I knew it wasn't a deer. It wasn't a coyote. It wasn't a person in a costume. It was something else. I didn't tell anyone at first. I thought maybe I imagined it. Maybe I was tired. Maybe the shadows played tricks on me. Then I talked to my friend down the street. He asked if I'd been hearing strange noises in the woods lately. Children's voices, he said, coming from the trees at night, asking for help, sounding like they were mimicking human speech. My blood ran cold. I asked him if he'd seen anything. He went quiet. Then he told me. A few nights ago, he was looking out his window. At the edge of his yard, near the woods, he saw a figure, pale, grayish-white, crawling on all fours. No face, just a smooth, blank head. It moved behind a tree and vanished. Same description. Same creature. Same woods. Different house. Different witness. He hadn't heard about my sighting. I hadn't heard about his. We both saw the same thing. We don't know what it was. I've read about similar creatures online. People call them pale crawlers. There are reports from all over the American Southeast. Same description. Same behavior. Same feeling of dread. Skeptics say it's misidentification. A deer in an unusual posture. An albino raccoon. A person crawling. Something seen in poor lighting. But I know what I saw, and my neighbor knows what he saw, and neither of us has an explanation that fits. The voices stopped after a while. The screams stopped too. I haven't seen the figure since that night. But I still close my blinds early. I don't go outside after dark. And when I hear something in the woods, I don't call out. I don't investigate. I just go inside and lock the door. Whatever was out there, it wanted us to come into the forest. And I'm glad we didn't. I don't know what I saw in my backyard that night. I don't know if it was a cryptid, a ghost, or something else entirely. I don't know why it was mimicking children's voices. I don't know what would have happened if someone had followed those voices into the woods. But I know one thing. When the forest sounds like people and looks like nothing you've ever seen, don't go outside. Don't call back. Don't try to find out what it is. Close your blinds, lock your doors, and pretend you didn't hear anything. Because some things, once you see them, you can't unsee. And once they know you're watching, they might start watching back.
Story 2. I moved back into my parents' house after a horrible breakup. My room is in the back of the house, on the bottom floor. The blinds are broken, they only face straight. You can see directly into my room from outside. My bed is right next to the window. I kept feeling like I was being watched. My mom said it was probably the family who lives in the guest house behind us. I believed her. Then, the tapping started. Light tapping at my window late at night. I'd look, nothing there, just darkness. Then, one night, I rolled over to face my window, and I saw the shadow of a person standing there, watching me sleep. I'll give you some context. My parents' house is weird. The second floor is really the first floor. That's where the front door, kitchen, and living room are. The bottom floor is mostly storage. My room is down there, along with my dad's office and a small bathroom. My bed is right next to the window. I didn't move it because I was too lazy. The blinds are those wooden ones, and the bottom slat is broken. There's a gap. Anyone standing outside can see directly into my room. I know it. I just never did anything about it. A family lives in the guest house behind us, a middle-aged couple and their son, maybe a teenager. I use the side gate to get in and out because I come home late from work. They use the same gate. I thought the feeling of being watched was just paranoia. I work at a restaurant, Valentine's Day. We were slammed. After my shift, I found out my bike had a flat tire, so I walked home. It was late, dark. The whole way, I felt eyes on me. I couldn't see anyone, but I took out my taser just in case. I got home, went through the side gate, unlocked the back door. When I turned on the lights, I saw my bedroom door was wide open. I always close my door. I have a dog who will eat anything, especially chocolate. I learned that the hard way, so my heart sank. From where I stood, I could see directly into my room. The door wasn't just ajar, it was fully open. I should have gone upstairs. I should have woken my parents. But I didn't. I went inside, got dressed, and passed out minutes after getting into bed. A few weeks passed. Nothing happened. I started to relax. Then, one night, I was in bed watching movies. It was my day off. I didn't even realize it was dark until my mom came down and asked me to turn down the TV. I was halfway through another movie when I heard it. Light tapping at my window. I looked. Something ran away. Fast. Like if you blinked, you'd miss it. I thought it was an animal. A raccoon, maybe. I went back to my movie. Around 1 a.m., I felt it again. That feeling of being watched. I looked at the window. Nothing there. I finished my movie, turned off the TV. The room went pitch black. I fell asleep. A few hours later, I heard tapping again. I was groggy. My brain thought it was my dog scratching at my door. I ignored it. Then I rolled over to face my window. There was a person standing outside my window, a shadow. I could see the outline of their head and shoulders against the glass. I couldn't move. My body was frozen. I watched them tap on my window. Tap, 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 waiting, watching. I lay there for what felt like forever. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't know. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought they could hear it. Then they left. Just walked away into the darkness. I grabbed my dog, my phone, my charger, a pillow, a blanket, and ran upstairs. I slept on the couch. I've been sleeping on the couch ever since. I told my mom what happened. She was scared. My dad checked the window. There were footprints in the dirt outside, fresh ones. We called the police. They took a report. They asked about the family in the guest house. I told them I didn't know them well. The son was quiet, kept to himself. I never really saw him. The police talked to them. The parents said they didn't know anything. The son said he was home all night. But something about the way he looked at me when I came home from work. I can't explain it. It was the same feeling. The same eyes on me. The police couldn't do anything without proof. They left. A few weeks later, my mom heard from the landlord. The family was moving out. The son had a record. Something from before they moved here. Something he wasn't supposed to be hiding. The tapping stopped. The feeling stopped. I never saw him again. I still sleep on the couch. My room is still downstairs. I go in there during the day to get clothes. But I don't sleep there anymore. I don't think I ever will. I bought curtains, heavy ones, blackout curtains. I hung them over the window, but it doesn't matter. The feeling is still there. Every time I walk past that room, I feel it. Someone watching. Someone waiting. I don't know if it was him, the son, the one with the record. I don't know if he was the one standing outside my window, tapping on the glass, watching me sleep. But I know I'll never sleep with my bed next to a window again. I'll never leave my blinds broken. I'll never ignore that feeling again. Because the last time I did, someone was standing outside my window. And they weren't there to say hello. I still think about that night. The shadow, the tapping, the way I couldn't move. I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't rolled over. If I hadn't seen him. Would he have kept standing there? Would he have tried the door? Would I still be sleeping there, not knowing he was watching? I don't know. I don't want to know. I just know I'm safer upstairs. I know the curtains are closed. I know the doors are locked. And I know that somewhere out there, someone might still be watching. Just not me. Not anymore.